hurricane on the Bryzos. It's all been ground down to molasses.
Everything comes full circle in life, right? I learned to weld when I was 10 years old. And now steel work is 95% of what we do.
Hey, good to see you, yeah.
I was shocked when we met you guys at PepTech. We left the trade show that night. We went back to the hotel. We both went and got online and we're checking it out before we went and ate dinner. And we're sitting eating dinner and a couple of nerds geeking out about Bryzos. So we're like, dude, this is so awesome, you know? I'm a huge believer in this, and I have been ever since I first saw it. My big question at this point is what kind of investor packages you have put together?
Good morning.
We primarily focus on vehicle-based storage systems for the outdoor community.
So yeah, crush it.
Yeah.
So all of our products we fabricate in-house. That's where we come into all this, is we're using a lot of aluminum and a little bit of steel.
You guys did good.
Yeah.
I'll take a picture.
It's definitely different.
Yeah.
I'm an account representative for inside sales.
What's up, Davis?
Good.
I'm reaching out to customers, handling the orders with them, facilitating the business.
It's a death by a million cuts. It's 1,000 phone calls a day, and they're all 45 seconds long, you know? So you're like, nope, never mind.
I was getting very confused.
I just respond to Jeff, Dave, David, Jeffrey.
We're sales operations specialists. We're kind of the intermediary between sales and ops. We pretty much get material from point A to point B for everyday orders for our sales reps.
Are those chef's guitars?
They are.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe you guys can jam for a little bit.
A young man metabolism, just eat 5 plates and just be fine. He lost weight doing that. I'm a sales operations specialist as well, and everything that Bryzos is doing, it definitely makes our lives a lot easier.
Y'all are never late on my orders.
Can you say that again? Yeah. Say that louder. Say that one more time.
Milk Inside is a digital products and services design company.
Oh, this is wild.
We're trying to tell a product story or a purchase story, or, in the case of Bryzos here, it's a gone in 60 seconds story. And we get to do that with a set of art and digital tools for all sorts of folks. This is our first foray into the steel industry, I'll say that.
I finally got coffee and now I'm feeling a little bit wired.
She's been flexing ever since.
Well, the first I heard was that it had to do with the steel industry. I thought, but it really is about user experience in the end and good design.
I did not know this love for Papa John's until I started working at Bryzos. And I thought Shep was f***ing with me. I said, no, he literally meal preps with pizza every week.
Don't even call that meal prepping.
So
it's just buying a pizza.
I want to do business where design was never exist. So that's why I was thrilled by your idea, because people never gonna think that it's possible.
How was the trip?
The most terrible flight of my entire life.
I was thinking about flying my plane, but then there was no planes available. I'm a pilot, so... But it's take
kind of a long way.
8 hours.
Yeah.
I was not thinking that it's even possible to have such a small seat. How even people they just.
Bryzos, it's helped me see design in places where I wouldn't normally look.
What if the opening scene was the garage opening?
If it was like this animation that pops up here.
We need a page that looks like,
That
what you are, what you are.
You're the designer.
Why I was intrigued by you guys as a business and why I pushed for us to do your work is that you were both deeply knowledgeable about the industry and had invested enough time and energy to be removed enough from it to understand what you had to do differently. It takes a lot more intricate knowledge of the transaction space to be smart about creating Gone in 60 Seconds, to create this Bryzos idea, and the attention to the personalities as well as the product details as well as the process is what sets you apart from earlier attempts in these types of industries.
Done and dusted.
Well, I think there's a certain charm to the steel industry as a whole. Being able to just be an outside rep and go to your customers' work, just walk in, have a casual conversation, build relationships. Where you get like tech companies on my phone, it's not very interpersonal. It's just straight to business. So it has a little bit of a charm.
They always say the steel industry is funny, and once you're in it, you're in it. Probably the biggest struggle in this industry is, when to buy and when not to buy, when to buy extra, when to slow down your buys. Because it's a commodity. And where I'm at on the food chain is I'm subject to the mill that's producing the steel, whatever their price is today. So that's the difficult part. And it's a very, very, very capital intense business because, you're sitting on millions and millions and millions of dollars of inventory. And if the price goes down, you just lost value.
We try and stay ahead on our product and keep it in stock. That being said, it's certainly a challenge, just as, metal is hard to find potentially, or as just our product spikes in sales. There's always that kind of game we're playing of chasing that, but we're trying to keep metal on hand so that we can cut ahead and keep our product on the shelf.
Definitely getting the material out the door. It takes a little while. The order entered, hold, go through processing, and get put on a truck, get out. At every stage, it can fail.
When you get down to the level of steel that is actually utilized in construction and making goods, information flows are painfully slow.
It's a very blue-collared environment and white-collared work, if that makes sense.
I think that the younger generation doesn't like to talk on the phone.
Yeah, it's like we grew up with TikTok or social media where it's information overload, everything's very fast and quick. And that's how we want to do business, just fast and quick and get out of there and move on to the next thing.
Whereas the older generation is just I'll only trust them once I get to shake their hand and talk to them for 3 hours about football. And the younger generation, I feel is just going to get past that, and they're just going to be listen, I trust results. If I put this through and it gets here for a very reasonable price, let's just, pull the trigger on it right now.
I think generally speaking, fabricators and welders, or at least the kind that I've got in my shop, tend to be very rooted in what, this is not how I know how to do it, that's how we're gonna keep doing it. I remember, as a matter of fact, 3 years ago when we really went heavy into steel and started making this our main thing, we started coming up with this issue. It'd be like a Saturday, somebody's asking me for pricing they want it by the end of the day, and I'm like, I need it. How can I not get online and just find pricing for steel? This is ridiculous, right? Nothing against the tried and traditional way of having somebody on the phone that you got a relationship with and calling them up and giving them your list or emailing it to them. But a lot of times, just given the nature of how business is, I've got my hands on 10 different things, and it's going to be a day before I need this information, and they need 2 days to bid it out to me, and I'm going to send it in and be like, please, would you please stay up all night and work on this price? I need it by 8 in the morning so I can have my bid in by noon, right? And they're like, oh, you again, And it's just that dreaded phone call of I know, I'm so sorry I did this to you. Versus, oh, I could just do all of this myself right here, right now.
They can be jobs where you're doing things and feeling accomplished and have tools that help you do things and you can do more.
With our generation, we're more more technology to make my life easier. Hell yeah, why wouldn't I want that, And I think that's a big portion of why Bryzos is so huge and it's got so much potential, is because it's looking at the workforce of 10, 20 years and not the workforce of 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I think especially with younger people like me, having something more modernized also gives it a bit more credibility in my eyes. If I see something that's up to date, looks very sleek, clean, something that looks very clunky and old, I'm gonna trust the new thing more.
Again, a lot of our team is young, and we're always trying to push for new technology and new advancements, and always trying to stay kind of on that cutting edge of things. And really, that's the core of what Bryzos is. It's a new technology, and it's a new way to do something. So we love that, and we really resonate with that.
This isn't just about making people's work lives easier. It saves them time, it makes them less stressed. They see an improvement in their career and job and even home life.
When I see it's 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock and I'm at one of the kids' sporting events or this or that, and I see an order pop up on the phone, I've literally been sitting at a restaurant at dinner and taking orders. Where else can you do that? That's something that I just think is really, a brand new thing to our industry.
Bryzos will be the market maker for the steel industry because an efficient market has a market maker. right? They're collecting all the data, they're buffering transactions, they're making sales and needs match. And that is a vital function in any marketplace.
My dogs would rip the shit out of this.
It's like the new stress ball.
And by stress ball, you mean that you
Annoying
stress
everyone
everybody
else.
else out.